Watch out, YouTube. Don't get me in trouble. There we go. I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Alright, I think it's about time we enter the basement and start back up on Playboy. I finally did learn some rules after I recorded the first episode. I checked in on the rules, and sure enough, no boobies are allowed. I figured as much. So I had to kind of edit strategically on that first episode to ensure there was minimal to no nippage or boobage. And the video has not been pulled down, so I think I must have done a sufficient enough job. So I know what to do and not do this time around. But before I get to Playboy, just do a quick walk around in the arcade. Check this out. I've got mirror blades ready to go. They're used, and I think they'll be a perfect candidate for Playboy, but that will be near the very end. You know, I'm not going to install those and then lift the playfield up and down a million times. I'll wait till I'm pretty much done. I just was working on Adam's Family for an hour or so. So what I have done is installed color DMD. So I bought a color DMD LED off my buddy Matt McGoffin, shout out, and for a reasonable price, so appreciate that. And then I put it up for trade, the LED for an LCD screen, and I ended up bringing my LED color DMD all the way to Manitoba, and David Morris and I did the trade. So this is his color LED LCD that came right out of his Dirty Harry, and my LED version is in his Dirty... Wait, yeah, it is. My LED version is in his Dirty Harry right now. So thanks and shout out to David Morris, one of the organizers of Manitoba Pinball Championships, which was awesome. And the color DMD Hires is the name of the setting that I love for color DMD, where you blend all the dots together. Doesn't that look amazing? So that's what it's called, Hires. There's XL dots, there's 8-bit, there's a few different options, but this is my favorite. So that's installed. And Dutch, I gotta get you off my board, brother. Dick, I don't know who that is. Dutch and Ick together, maybe, possibly, split flipping. Okay, so this machine was pretty dark, in this spot especially. So I gotta give another shout out to Wally16. Doesn't this thing look good? Let's throw on this. Because, oh, I love how you can see the metal flake when I just kind of move ever so slowly. Just glitters. But Wally16 donated, gave me some LEDs and miscellaneous parts in a goodie box. In that goodie box was a set of like GI spotlights. So I put one here, put one here, and then there's a kind of a 2-pack that I put there. And with those installed, Playfield is nice and illuminated. Like, I wish I could show you the before, because it was pretty damn dark. But now, with the lighting there and the color DMD, this thing is a beauty. So I still have yet to work on and finish my whitewater resetting issue. That I've set aside. Lord of the Rings is fine, Dracula's fine. Oh, and yesterday I repaired my color DMD that was flickering on and off on my Theater of Magic. I talked to Randy at Color DMD, and there's just a little ribbon cable that goes from the display board, from the LCD to the little display board, and he said those sometimes fail, so he sent me a new one. I installed it yesterday. There's been no flicker since, and it's been solid. So I've been trying to get all these loose ends tied up before getting back to Playboy, because I feel like if I don't do these now, I'll never do them. I've been procrastinating on some of these things, especially the board work on whitewater. Anyway, Funhouse is fine, X-Files is fine, and the Sterns over here are fine. And Batman, Stormtrooper, and Leonardo are also chilling, and they are fine. Okay, so what else do we got? Ah, yeah, so since the last episode, look what I got here. From pinballrom.com, I got my CPU ROM, display ROM. I'm on like 1.2 code or something. This is 5.0, so this is quite an improvement, I'm assuming. And then some extra NVRAM just to have in stock. So there's a little bit of a display glitchy thing that's going on that I don't know if it is anything to do with the NVRAM I installed or the old code. It's something so very insignificant, but I notice it, and now I can't unnotice it. So I showed it off in the first episode, and I don't remember it happening prior to me installing the NVRAM, but that doesn't mean it is at fault. So first thing I'm going to do is this. See this? That. It's just a little bit glitchy. So I'm going to swap out, or I'll start with updating the ROMs, or installing the ROMs, see if that fixes it. But do I have the old RAM anywhere? Oh, look at, I do. I could actually stick this back in and see if it goes away. Then I can know for sure whether it's the NVRAM that's the issue or not. Maybe I'll do that. But anyways, Playboy, I'm excited to work on this. Oh, two more shoutouts. JB has a keen eye, and he noticed, I don't know where it is right now. Ah, here it is. He noticed this little piece in the first episode and identified where it goes. So thank you, brother, for that. It is the hinge latchy thingamajiggy that goes right here, and that's, these guys are the homemade solution, quote unquote. But this mech is not working properly, so I don't know how this stays in place. So that's something I'll have to figure out, but good eye, JB. At least we know where that goes now, so that's cool. And one other shout out to Tom Cicchetti. He noticed that I was working on this machine, and he sent me photos of his Playboy that he did recently. And he had done it in pink rubber, and also he changed, I believe, all the lane guides and flasher domes to purple. So they got two white up there. Oh crap, I forgot about boobies, damn it. If there's some little choppiness in the editing, basically just gotta like close up these curtains, hide these boobies. There you go. If there's any choppiness, then you know why, prior to this. But I'm gonna put some tape on some selected areas so that I don't have to worry about that. Anyway, these I think will look good with purple. Well, it did on Tom's machine. So thanks for the photos. I think I am gonna tear this bad boy apart, go all purple, pink rubber and purple flasher domes, possibly lane guides as well. It's just a matter of, do I want to wait? Because if I'm waiting for rubber, I gotta wait for other parts too, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, so I'm gonna, oh, also, I don't know if I showed this in the last video. I removed the apron and removed this top of the trough here. That's at Kevin's getting welded. So I was going to pick that up today, but it looks like that's going to happen tomorrow. Whoa, that is pretty dirty. So this will need a cleaning. Especially the rest of the playfield, though, was pretty damn mint. Like, you can see some ball trail, but it is usually, you know, way worse than this. This is nothing compared to some of the games that I've purchased, so it's pretty nice. Oh, damn it. Did I see some more boobies? I gotta get that tape out ASAP. Anyway, I'm gonna start working on this. Probably just start taking 1,000 photos. And, oh yeah, Tom also mentioned that you gotta be careful when unassembling and reassembling all these mechs, because it can be a bit of a pain in the butt to put back together again, which doesn't surprise me at all. But yeah, I usually take a million photos, so shouldn't have any trouble. But Tom mentioned, yes, make sure you take your photos. This screw is missing here, and I think I noticed one other screw somewhere else that was missing. It's like very heavy duty ramp switch brackets, right? Like for early Stern, they definitely don't go as high quality as they used to. Like, this is hardcore for switch brackets. Look at these things. All right, so like I said, I think first thing I'm gonna do is put in that old RAM back and see if that goes away. Okay, here's the NB RAM that was in the machine that I put in. Here's the original one. Here's the thing. It doesn't have your traditional notch. So I'm not sure which way it goes. I can make an educated guess, but I chose not to. Is this little small dot here, is that the notch? Is that how that goes? Because there just ain't your standard notch like that on that old chip. So I just swapped the NV RAM and see what happens here. So may or may not have anything to do with anything, but we will find out. Okay, so definitely not the NV RAM, so I'll pop in the new ROMs and see what happens. Oh, I also wanted to mention a couple new additions to the games room. I've got a piece of Greg Benz's Alien pinball machine box from Pinball Brothers now in the rafters, so it's a bit of a memento. I just did a box opening over at Greg Benz's place recently, so you know, just if you want to check that out, it's pretty sweet. Just look in my YouTube video list and you'll find it. Also, shout out to John Charest, who gave me a few pop bumpers for my pop bumper wall. Pop bumper caps. That's two are from Future Spa, and that one is from Supersonic. So I don't believe I have any of those ones. No, those are all unique to the wall. So that's pretty sweet. Can you name this game? I'll give you 3 seconds. Lethal Weapon 3. What about this one? Viking. What about this one? Captain Fantastic. And, well, you should know this one. It is Xenon. And what about this one? That one, I don't actually know. And anyway, so back to installing ROMs. I remember now the other hardware that's missing. We got a spacer missing here and a nut. How or why that happened, I have no idea. But, oh man, I gotta tape up some boobies right away. Okay, there we go. I won't make that mistake again. I still have more work to do though. But anyway, so I've got the new ROM installed. So this is, like I said, 5.0. So I'm guessing this is custom, kind of modern ROM, maybe from Soren, because I've had a couple other 5.0 ROMs can't remember for what machines, but I believe they came from Sorn, so I'm just assuming that this is the same. Correct me if I'm wrong, but these original ROMs, I was a little bit wrong. It's 2.03 code for the CPU, March 25th, 2002. And for the display ROM, 2.01, March 12th, 2002. So that's what code this was on. So I'm expecting to see some significant improvements, although I don't really know what the old ROMs, don't know them well enough to even notice the difference, but I'm sure there are many. Okay, volume turned back to factory, which is loud. I'll have to turn that volume back down, but let's check. Hey, look at that. That's still doing the glitchy thing. Is that just because the quote-unquote cursor is on diagnostics? If I move over to audits, does it move with it? No, it does not. So that's interesting. I'm not sure I'm going to be blaming. I did a display test before, and it looked perfectly fine. So it's not the display ROM, not the NVRAM, not the CPU, and not the display itself. See, look at that. It's a little fluttery in the camera, but let's see if I can make it look better. Nope. That is a perfect looking display, from my vantage point anyways. So, cannot blame any of those things. What the hell else is there to blame? But I'm not going to concern myself with it. I'm going to move on to whatever is next. Okay, I busted out the tape again, so I don't get in any YouTube troubles. Karen McDougal. I'm assuming that's her on the inside. She's all covered up now, so that's safe. And I was working on this mech. It was just folded up incorrectly, and it wasn't working before, so I kind of like forced it in the proper position. And now I'm in the centerfold test, and check this out. I warn you, there's no tape here. Watch out, YouTube. Don't get me in trouble. There we go. That I won't get in trouble for. But that's pretty freaking cool in more ways than one. And then we can close that back up. Boom. There we go. Now I need to get some tape on this mech. Okay, now for the stepper motor test. Freudian slip there, just kidding. Okay, check this out. Here we go. You can actually kind of see what's going on here now, sort of. Got my tape in the right places. And there we go. That's safe and sound now. Again, another unique, creative, cool mech from one and only George Gomez. And alright, now back to this mech. Okay, the triangle motor test we can perform now safely. Here we go. Now there, I'm assuming, is a light bulb out that should be in the middle of the mech. Because these are basically little mini translights, and normally it takes me 2 layers thick of tape to cover up properly. I put 2 on there anyway, because at some point I will find out if there's supposed to be a bulb in there. But, you know, she took 2 layers of tape. She took 2 layers of tape. And I can't remember, did Karen? Yeah, see, look, 2 layers of tape, because it's lit under there. Anyway, that's the triangle mech. Hey, go back to your home. Alright, there we go. So now I am finally safe to proceed. Okay, this video is going to be mostly for me, but you can come along if you want. I normally take a lot of photos, but in this time around, I'm going to do both. I'm going to take video footage and a ton of photos, but this video is really just for me to remember how to put this damn thing back together again. I also got to remember that this video is episode 2 at the beginning, about 15 minutes in. So if you want to skip this tour, feel free, because I'm going to take about a few minutes to just go over everything. I mean, like, you know, you got post there, then you got washer, then you got plastic, then you got washer, then you got spacer, then you got plastic, then you got washer, and then you got nut. Do you see what I mean? Like, I need to remember all these details. Oh, what do we got here? Some weird plastic things. I've never seen those before. These probably could afford to go purple or pink. This mech is just riveted on here. This ramp, what do we got here? We got nothing too crazy going on there, but looks like for the ramp, I don't see anything too crazy. Well, once we start getting into this post here, just a post and then a screw, really. There's a screw here. Physical locking mech. These guys. And this is how this is oriented. We got, it looks like, plastic washer, loop for the wire form, another washer, nut. That's pretty standard kind of stuff. This mech I've never actually, not mech, but bracket, I've never really seen these before. So pretty straightforward though. Lots of room to adjust, which is cool. Just the way the ball goes up, and you want to make sure it's nice and centered and registering. And what else do we got? Let's just kind of have a look at this. Same kind of thing. Don't see anything too crazy, but you know, famous last words, right? So we got the loop here, we got a washer, then a nut. That's all standard stuff. Again, we got washer, loop, washer, nut. This will be fun to remove. This is where it gets a little complicated. All this crap here. There's the one-way gate. Just on with the screw here and nut there. Doesn't look like any washers. Another switch bracket. This plastic here. How does this get? How is this even on? Where the hell is this attached? Oh, here. Plastic is attached, I guess, through this bracket. And then it's just got all these upside down posts to prevent the ball from flying off, it looks like. This wire form is really bent out. I don't know if that's normal, or if that should kind of be bent back into place. Tom Cicchetti, have a look. Let me know if this is normal. If you get a chance, or any Playboy owner, that would be cool. And the middle ramp, nothing too crazy going on here. That looks all pretty straightforward. How is the ramp even secured? We got this one screw here, and then this one loop here. Where is this looped? Where is this looped? That's under this fat washer. Okay, so like I said, this tour might not be all that enthralling, but it's definitely going to help me when reassembling. We got Karen McDougal mech here. Have a look here. We got a nut, then we got the bracket, then we got a plastic, then we got a washer. This is all going to be so fun. Can't wait. You know what? I think that's about all I need. Corner plastics are very straightforward. It's really just the wire forms and the ramps, and the mechs, and the scoops, and the up kickers, and the slingshots, which are stacked with 12 layers. So wish me luck. It'll be fun. Yay! All right. Well, we had a couple things removed. Then I realized, before I dig any deeper, I must start disconnecting all the connectors from under the Playfield, which involves labeling all the connectors and dealing with all kinds of zip ties. So as I'm cutting zip ties, I'm kind of adding zip ties, But there's a lot of connectors. 1, 2, 3, I don't know. I'm not going to count them, but there's a bunch there and here. And they're all weaved in pretty tightly into the wire harness there. So as I'm cutting one zip tie, I'm removing the connectors from it and then re-zip tying that stack in place so it doesn't get all, you know, out of whack. So that when I reconnect this to there, then I can add in a new zip tie. Like this guy, for example, was in that zip tie. So that's a new one for now. I'll add another one if needed. But I think I've got them all. And if I do, let's take a closer look here. Then I can start removing the top side components. Wait a minute. This mech here, it's a motor, it's connected there. I don't think I need to worry about that. But basically I just look for all the holes in the playfield and then I see if there's any wires coming out of them. Like there, and there, and there. And that's my strategy. So I think that there's like a whole little relay board tucked in way behind there too. Wow. And this whole metal plate, is that just all for that one mech? Why such a monstrous metal plate back there? Also, there's a bunch of light bulbs in the back of the little slideshow thing. And every time I seem to slide in the playfield in and out, they pop out of the friggin' bracket there. So I'm gonna have to figure out something with that. But also, I'm gonna have to LED this bad boy, but that is probably for another episode. Anyway, I think I'm ready to start disassembling the playfield. All right, starting to put a dent in this teardown here. It's not exactly been the most fun I've ever had in my life, but it's not the worst either. It's fairly straightforward. After you take apart 100 pinball machines, they're all pretty much straightforward. Little differences here and there. And with the difference, like the different layers upon layers, that's where it's going to get tricky with putting things back together again. So taking it apart is actually the easy part. Putting it all back together again, that is where you can run into some troubles. Just all this little stuff here. You got to remember exactly how it goes. The orientation of this star post. So obviously a spot where the ball was getting trapped or something. So that's the remedy for that. But lane guides are gone. Corner plastics. And there are, it appears to be 4 flashers back there. And is there more boobies back here? Because I haven't seen boobies back here, but it kind of looks like there might be something, and I just can't really get at it. But what else would this be here for? With 4 flashers, so definitely need to figure out what's happening there. Here's this area that I'm talking about, where these are just falling out all the friggin' time. I don't know what the problem is. But I imagine if I install 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 LEDs just to illuminate this, that's going to just be over friggin' whelming. So maybe I'll alternate. 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom, and do half the number of LEDs and hot glue them in place so that they don't pop out every time you move the playfield, because they latch in there, but just not very solidly. So that's where I'm at. I think I got to go run to the grocery store, and then I can come back and resume. So I'm going to take a little break. I'll be back. All right, I'm back from the grocery store. Progress is being made. That ramp is removed. This ramp is removed. Wire form, plastics, pop bumper caps. Each pop bumper cap Well, I guess this one is different. Top lane start tease. Tease when flashing. Tease when flashing with deflector. Then this whole ramp with the triangle mech. This teardown is not for the faint of heart, I will tell you that much. If you want to strip down a Playboy, then you may want to think twice, because like I said, the teardown ain't so bad, although it's bad. The reassembly is going to be real fun. So I'm down to pretty much the last bits. I'm like, how am I going to get at these rubbers? Do I need to remove this entire mech? I found that there are 2 nuts that go on those bolts there. I removed those. Now I can slide that up. And to some degree now I have access to these screws. So now I can remove all this and the hidden last lane guide. Then I can really get at all of the rubbers on this Playfield, because they all need to go pink. So I need to remove every single one, do a count, order them all up, and then some just to be safe. I got this other piece of plastic to remove. This stuff I might just leave intact for now because there's no real need to remove it just yet. I'll just kind of like, once I get the rubbers in, I'll remove everything, clean everything, put it back with the rubber, and then that way I don't have even more crap on the table over there, because I'm likely to forget lots of things, because there's going to be some time between me getting the rubbers and installing them and now. So, you know, in 2 weeks time I'm going to recall very little of this teardown, so I'll have to refer to my video and photos to a large degree. But there's rubbers hidden everywhere. In order to get that one off, this has to come off. So I'm going to have to loosen that up, but I think that can wait until I at least get my rubbers in stock. This has to come off probably. Can I access all these bulbs from underneath? Oh yeah, no biggie. I can just undo those, so there's no real need to take this off. It's not like horribly dirty. Maybe I will, you never know. But once you start getting into the nitty-gritty of the machine, I'm glad I tore it down, because, you know, look at this. There is definite filth. And look at that. This machine has never, ever seen a shop job. I can just tell. This is its first bath. So it's first bath in the grotto, right? And I still gotta figure out what's going on with this thing. I gotta try and get my thumb in there, possibly, and pull up whatever might be hiding. I wish it was that easy, but it is not. Okay, maybe I'll mess with that for fun. But that is the progress report. Almost done. As much tearing down as I need to do. Oh, I guess I can remove this plastic too. I'm starting to run out of space on my table, so maybe I'll have to create some space. Oops, up here. All right, check this out. I got my trough lid back with nice new welds, thanks to Kevin Graisley. Beautiful job as always. So I'm basically done stripping the Playfield. So let's pan over just a little bit and see how gross everything is. It's actually, like I said, it's not that bad, but once you get down and dirty, you can kind of see the crust in the cracks here. So this is the before. And next on the list is to clean the Playfield. So I think I'm going to go ahead and tackle that right now. And tighten up all the posts. A lot of these posts when you loosen them, like these guys for example, trying to undo the nuts and the whole post friggin' come up. So I'm gonna make sure everything's nice and tight, and clean the playfield, and then do my rubber count. I'll compare what the manual says with what is actually here, and make sure that when I order the rubbers that I have too many rather than too little. If that, I'd rather have, yeah, too many rubbers and not need them than too little and not have them and have to wait friggin' whatever weeks to get what I'm missing. So gotta be pretty precise about my rubber order. That's the thing about going with colored rubbers, is that I don't stock them. I stock white only. I have every white rubber I could ever need. Right now I could rubber this machine, but this machine just calls for pink rubber, so got to go through the extra steps and the extra trouble, but it'll be worth it. So time to clean this playfield up. All right, playfield is starting to clean up. Basically just did the bottom third, but I just wanted to show how friggin', well, here's the before. Look how filthy the Slingshot areas are. Look at these bulbs. They're just covered in carbon dust. The rubbers are pretty bad as well. I can't do that very easily. The back of the Slingshot plastics, it's all very filthy. The Slingshot kicker head, ooh, trying to focus there. So that is kind of the before, and you can see how nicely it's cleaning up. I dremeled the switches so they are nice and shiny. Hard to see on this angle, but, and the kicker head is all cleaned up. So basically pretty much done the bottom third up to the peekaboo zone. So making progress. All right, time has come to wrap it up for the night. I got about 2/3 of the way up the playfield. Got in my first run at the pop bumpers, the bodies and the skirts. They're going to need probably another little going over, but up until about this point-ish here, I'm good. I'm noticing there is incandescent bulb under there, so I don't know if I need to remove that mech. I'm going to have to change this rubber at some point. Potentially turn these into pink posts, so we'll see about that. I can access the bulb from underneath, that's not a problem. But that's where I'm at. If I have time tomorrow, I'll do the top third, and whatever else is required. I do have to change all those to LED bulbs. And yeah, I wonder if these pop bumper lights were even working, because they've been there for 22 years, so I didn't even notice if they were working or not. But with LED bulbs going in there, that'll revive them for quite some time. All right, anyway, so making some decent progress. Another giant 3D puzzle. It'll be very fun to reassemble, but that will be many episodes from now, so stay tuned. We'll see you on the next one.